Scotty.
Scotty doesn't know.
Bro.
Dude, that's a great Matt Damon.
It's a great movie.
I'm Matt Damon.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, great movie.
But ruined my freaking name.
Yeah.
Ruined my name forever.
What song was that?
Scotty doesn't know.
I know, but who sang it?
It was a band called Lustra. It's weird that I know that, but if you look it up, that's right.
I'm trying to
Very
remember how
weird.
it even like
Are
sounded.
we recording?
Yeah.
All right, good. Just making sure.
Just start.
We can't be missing the Scotty doesn't know gold.
Scotty doesn't know.
Well, why don't you introduce Scotty?
Yeah, we're getting ready to roll up into it.
And then we'll jump back in. Scotty doesn't know.
Let's do it. Let's do
Perfect.
it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hustle and Speak podcast. We're back at it again. Today we got a special guest on here. His name is Scott, and we're gonna just dive into some life things. And stay tuned. Here we go. This is Chris, my co-host.
Chris G, what's going on, guys?
What's going on?
And Scott.
How you doing, Scott?
But yes, that was Euro Trip. Great movie. Scotty doesn't know.
One of the best movies.
Dude, great movie. So that was Harriet the Spy, remember? Old Harriet, and then she was hot.
Bro, I don't think I see the movie.
You've never seen
Really?
Euro Trip?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
That's a problem.
That's a fail.
I don't think I've seen it.
Wow, that's a fail.
What's it about?
This kid has a pen pal across the country, and he thinks it's this dude. He doesn't read the English right. And he even has a picture, and it says dude and his hot cousin.
Right.
And his brother's like a super genius. Well, it turns out Scotty's getting cheated on the whole time. They go to this party, and there's this, like, it's Matt Damon. He's, like, covered in tattoos. and he sings a song called Scotty Doesn't Know, where he sings the entire song about cheating on his girl behind his back. So it's just a fun comedy, but it's a really good one. It's got Harriet the Spy. You remember Harriet the Spy?
Nope.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
Fail.
Oh my god. Literally a movie that has ruined my name.
Don't come for your movie choices from Chris. 'Cause
No.
you
Yeah,
don't know
dude,
no
I'm
movies.
not a big Well, I'm starting to get to that point where I'm starting
it's
to
a
watch
good
some
movie.
movies and stuff.
It's a good movie.
Like, you have to like movies when you're in the service because that's the only thing that gets you really through life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's right. So you're from I saw you're from the service.
Yeah,
so
military.
what do you got going on? Where are you from? What do you got going?
Originally, all born and raised in Pasadena, Maryland. So I know everything around Pasadena. But as soon as I got out of high school, went to community college to play basketball, and then broke both my ankles.
God damn.
Same time?
No.
Okay.
Freshman season, broke them. Couldn't play after that. My sophomore season, recovered, cleared, broke the other one 2 games in. And I was like, okay, what's next? So my dad was like, well, it's either service or you keep on doing this college thing. I was like, I'm not that smart.
Yeah,
So
I'm here for the sports.
Yeah, I was only here for the sports and girls, and the sports are going, so I can find girls anywhere.
For sure.
So Navy, joined the Navy, and then
Seaman.
Well, okay, everybody's a seaman. Everybody's a seaman when they first join.
Yeah, when you start, we all start as seaman.
Always start as seaman, then you get your rate, and I was an airman.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you went to Naval Academy and all?
No. That is for the people that are smart.
Okay, so that's the school portion of it. So you just went straight Navy onto a ship.
I never even touched the ship.
Really?
Which is the more crazy thing is the fact of like not being in the Navy, not touching a boat, but seeing other countries. Like there's other branches of military. Like I know a couple of Marines I've never seen off of United States territory as well, or even Army. National Guard is obviously here, but sometimes they do get shipped out. But with me, literally my plane that I worked on was a P-3 Orion. They cannot land on any aircraft whatsoever, or on any boat.
Yeah.
Aircraft
So
carrier.
you never had to worry about being on a boat. That's
No.
awesome.
No, that thing is like basically think of the turboprops of airplanes. That's what they are.
big old ones.
Yeah,
That's nice.
You can't land them on just a big ass boat.
Right.
It's not happening. They look for the boats. They are the ones to find the boats for the boat to go for.
How long did you do that for?
6 years. 6 years I was in the Navy. We went from boot camp, A school, C school, and then over to my military base or my home, which is in Hawaii. But during that transition, I also got married during that time. My first year getting married.
In Hawaii?
No. My first marriage, she didn't want to move to Hawaii.
It was a pen pal.
Yeah.
Like the movie.
It was Michelle.
And she ran off to Virginia with her pen pal, which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
It's
That
crazy.
sucks.
Hold on, did she really?
Well, she ran off with somebody to Virginia.
She was like
man.
messaging and shit.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
So how long were you married? How long was that marriage?
A year and a half.
Okay.
A year and a
damn.
half. So it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you feel
A bad marriage is too long. Yeah.
Correct,
It's a year and a half
correct.
is too long.
Did y'all just rush into it so she could try to like go with you wherever you went? And
She didn't even want to go out there.
Yeah.
Which was my
that
first
seems
red
like
flag.
that happens a lot in the military.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I can understand it now because of the fact of like where I've come from or where I've gone now with how relationships go outside of military and trying to
absolutely.
keep those relationships, and it's totally different now.
So Becca has a friend, Callie, our friend Callie. I don't know if you ever met Callie, but Callie's from around here. She, we've known her forever. She met this guy, Mike. They dated for a few months, and he found out that he had to go to Hawaii. He was getting restationed.
Damn.
And he had to make a choice, and he loved her, so he actually asked her to marry him. Or he asked her to marry him.
Get it right, dude.
He, she.
Yeah.
Today,
He
Junior.
asked her to marry him, and she said yeah, and they're out in Hawaii now.
Yeah.
And,
Shit.
I think it's like 3 years before he could come back, so
Wow.
and that's a big... And she has 2 kids, so that's a big ass. So I understand,
Correct. And like the time difference from Hawaii over here is also 6-hour time difference. So even the inconvenience kind of factor puts into it.
Absolutely.
Yes, any kind of relationship should be good with that kind of time difference. But if I have like a buddy that's here that has another friend that's right next to him or 2 minutes away from like a drive away, he's not going to communicate with anybody that's like 6 hours away.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's
I mean,
rough.
think 6
It is
o'clock
rough.
at night, it's midnight there.
Yeah.
Or midnight here.
Yeah.
It's...
Have you ever been deployed?
Yeah. I was in Djibouti for a little while. Djibouti.
Djibouti. It ain't your booty. It's your booty.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Then Japan, and then Signal, Italy. So
Italy?
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Which one was the best? Like, which one was the biggest culture shock?
I heard Japan is like the coolest.
Dude, I want to go so bad.
Yeah.
Japan will show you how far behind technology we are.
It's so cool,
and
though, isn't
that's
it?
even me seeing it in 2010.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So compared to where they are like now, and seeing what all is there, it's leaps and bounds.
Yeah, my
of
buddy
what
Eddie
we're at.
loves Japan. I can't
Yeah.
wait. Like
Dude.
I want to. That's an expensive trip, but
No, it can be cheap.
It can be cheap if you just go join the military.
right?
Well, you can
The
if you know
flight's like $1,000.
if you know the right people.
Yeah,
you just gotta know the right people.
Sounds like you do. So we're gonna need some flights to Japan.
We're gonna need some. Dude, that'd be a cool trip.
So what was the language barrier like?
Not that bad because like you're on a base. So
Do you speak any? Japan?
Japanese.
Japanese.
You speak Japan?
Do I?
Can you speak
Djibouti.
any Japanese?
Little to none now.
Very
because-
few words.
Correct, because I haven't been around there. Haven't been around any people that speak it either. So
Yeah, it's a long time. So you
it's
said 2010 is when you left there?
Yeah. June 2010 left there.
When we was growing up, my brother Jeremy and CJ, they had a friend. His name was Tok, and his grandparents lived out there.
So
and they would
he was
send
Japanese?
they would send like care packages. And
Was he
stuff.
Japanese?
I think he was.
Okay. Sound like a Japanese name.
But he used to bring like all that. They'd send him
Yeah,
a
oh,
care
yeah.
package, have all this different kind of shit in it. Had some cool candies and all.
Yeah, there's if you like drinking, there's a good drink out there that I absolutely love. And whenever I see somebody that I know that's out there, I always request them to ship it over.
Oh, that's cool.
Because it's one of the hardest things to get.
Like
stateside.
alcoholic?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Like it's called habusaki. It's if you like sake, it's good for you. But it's they think it's a healing thing because it is a snake, a venomous snake that's inside of it.
Is it spicy?
No.
Okay.
No. But like you can see the venom coming out of the snake on into the whiskey. Sake's whiskey.
Yeah, but I guess because you're ingesting it, it's not going. Well, no, going your bloodstream.
It paralyzes your liver, so you're able to drink more.
Jesus.
Good
and the
Lord.
crazy thing is, like,
that doesn't sound healthy.
It's wonderful.
He said it's healthy. He said it's good for you.
Yeah, he was like, you like sake if you're on a good health kick.
Well,
you're on a good health kick.
Well, if you're trying to lose the weight that you just ate,
yeah,
keep on drinking and it'll go out. It'll go out real quickly.
I cut the sugar. I ate some sugar this weekend.
Oh, I knew it was gonna happen.
Oh, I said I was going to. It was glorious, dude. The food in New Orleans.
Oh yeah,
Chris.
Gosh,
you got to go to New Orleans. The food was phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal. The drinks, everything's slushies because it's hot.
Right,
it's hot as shit down there. It was hot this weekend here, right?
Yeah,
it was like 110. Just we stayed in the casinos during the day.
Dude, I was pissed that we didn't get the mics from me. And
I know. As soon as I got to the airport, I was like,
I thought about the next morning. I was like, shit.
I know. Honestly, I'm glad I didn't take. I don't think I would have taken my GoPro down to Bourbon Street when I did because I was drinking and stuff. If I was like sober down there, like there was like it was a lot of sketchy people down there. Right. My boy also got pickpocketed.
No shit.
I don't think that there's sober people in Bourbon Street. So.
No, they're sober. So we realized like the way the road is. So it's a main road on the outside canal where it has like a trolley and there's a bunch of like restaurants, the casinos there, and then Bourbon Street just starts and it goes down for like 15 blocks. Very similar to like how Ocean City is.
No shit.
But when you're going down, it's literally chicken place, bar, strip club. Different chicken place, slushy place, and it's like all alcoholic slushies. They have every flavor. So I tried some fish and some, the slushies, but it's a lot of sugar. So I only drank the one.
Fish and slushies?
Dude, it was... At that point, I was already... we were already drinking. We had been drinking. We got there at, like, noon. Yeah. So we had a pool. So we got in the pool. My boy fell on the steps instantly. Like, busted his whole leg up instantly. We were just hanging out. Like I said, we were at the pool. And the pool was so cool. And then we would just go out. We'd go to the casino. We'd hit Bourbon. And literally, you just walk back and forth and just watch people. And...
Damn.
There's some ghetto bars towards the end where all the people sell the drugs and stuff, and they watch you. You see the same people. And like, there's definitely blocks on Bourbon Street that are like,
oh yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It's the same thing with Vegas.
Yeah,
the guys on
yeah. I mean, it was cool, but it was like you definitely have to watch your back on Bourbon. The people that get belligerent. Luckily, I got drunk one of the nights, probably too drunk, but I had my boys, so I just like. I always just had my eye on one of them and all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what was it like being in the military? Like, what led you to leave? And
I don't know.
Did you leave or was you discharged?
I was discharged. I was discharged without telling that I should have been medically discharged. They did a scan of all my medical stuff a year ahead. If you're going to get out, they're going to do all those scans to make sure that you're medically okay with getting out, or if they need to make it a little bit faster process for you so you're able to go through surgeries or anything like that. And they found that I had an MCL tear, but they didn't say anything to me. They didn't tell me what was on the scans. And the thing is, we had a doctor that we called Doc Google. If you can't Google it, he wasn't fixing it, kind of thing. Where like ibuprofen, here's ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Take some water, ibuprofen. So I'm getting out of the military, and my knee is just killing me for 4 years. And then finally, my leg gives out, and it's a fractured fibula and tibia. So it's like within 4 years of getting out. So it's like, is it because of the MCL tear?
Yeah.
Most maybe. Damn likely.
Yeah, definitely.
And right now I'm just battling with VA right now for them to be like, hey, yes, this is the reason for it. So
you need a knee replacement?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fibula and tibia both fractured both of them at the same time.
How'd you do that?
I paintballed for a while.
You paintball?
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Me too.
Yeah.
No shit. I
go
just
to P3?
I used to.
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
I always get shot.
NR is pretty good.
Yeah.
NR.
You still play?
Nah, most of my friends still play. Like, if you know Teddy's out there at NR all the time. But he also refs at P3.
Yeah.
That's my boy. That's my boy, Teddy.
No shit. Yeah, I haven't played him. Me and my boys were playing last summer pretty good. We started our own little team and all. And, you know, I used to play back in the day and, you know, in Florida. And then got on a kick and was like, hey, let's start paintballing again, you know, because I was playing airsoft for a while. Yeah. And I was like, let's get into paintball. You know, got the whole setup. We started a team. We all got into it. And then, of course, you know, one friend dies off, another friend dies off. And it's like, I got $2,500 worth of shit in there, if not more, and it's just sitting there. I was literally telling my wife last week, I was like, I need to go play paintball. It's been a minute. It's fun though. It's a good time. Like, you know, when we used to play airsoft too, I mean, that was fun too, but I think airsoft actually hurts more than paintball. Yeah. Because you can't see if you get shot. Like paintball, if I get shot and you know. Right. Well, the thing with airsoft is, dude, you get... Well, I played indoors, like at replay and shit like that. Yeah. And they light your ass up with like 1,000 BBs you get hit in 2 seconds versus paintballs. It's kind of like... Most people are like, bop, you get them, what's that airsoft one on Crane Highway? That's replay. Okay, so I've been to that one for a birthday party. And it's fun, dude. And the cool thing is all the kids... Fuck you up. Well, no, I don't... I don't go into the zone, but I rent a gun every time, and I stay up where the parents are. And the kids that are hiding in the back, I like pop them so they get out of the spot. Like, get the fuck out of there! Like, and all the time the parents are like, you're an idiot. I was like, it's not that bad. And I shoot myself. I'm like, never mind. It sucks. Like, we should go play. I'd play. We should go play. I used to do laser tag, Ultra Zone. I used to bro, you can't go from paintball to laser. I used to play laser tag. No, we played it. Got in my eye. It was intense. It was, bro, there's nothing intense about laser tag. I'd be sweating.
My battery ran out.
I had buddies that would like win. They would travel across the states and win competitions. Yeah,
laser tag.
Yeah, dude, they were good. Laser tag.
That's like saying you're a world champion of putt-putt golf.
Right. Hey, I watched that on TikTok.
Oh my god!
I know you guys watch it too, right? Have you not seen it?
Laser tag?
No, the putt-putt.
Oh no.
There's a group, and they do putt-putt, and they just do tournaments with a group of their friends. Never fixed it,
bro. I did. It just won't. It's part of the podcast now. If it doesn't fall out during the podcast,
if you hear us interrupt, it's because the podcast is literally falling apart around us.
The foam part. Look, we got a fly flying around here. Good
but yeah, Lord. They do putt-putt, like a tournament. So it'd be like, say that we had a group of friends, and they do tournaments, and they do like bracket style, and they're really good. Some of these courses are really intense, and like, it's a couple chicks. The girls whoop their asses. They're good. Every time I'm like, I got to see how this ends. I'm hooked.
Next, it's gonna be putt-putt and lingerie putt-putt.
Dude, I don't even need the lingerie if I'm being honest. Like the shots that sometimes they hit some good shots like off of a bounce. You're like, damn, they were going for that.
So are you only like a weekend like warrior of like just going on the weekend, not going to any events? Have you been to a paintball event at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but not like we was gonna start doing some competitions last year.
Okay.
But my kids were racing motocross same time.
Gotcha.
So like nothing lined up. But when I used to play in Florida, we used to go to some tournaments and stuff like that. But here, didn't get into it like that. Gotcha. But I'd like to.
Yeah. So what you were saying is you were the one that quit because your kids on dirt bikes blamed all your friends.
No. It was him. I was down. Look, I could show. We had our whole group text and all, and I was like, "Hey, let's go play." My boy Tony, he fell off. My boy Rob, well, we call him Bob Love, and he's fucking good too. We're just all busy. We got, you know what I mean? It's hard. It's like
expensive too. It's the paintball world, like everybody know everybody kind of thing.
You'll know people.
Yeah.
You'll know people.
Do you guys know a guy named Sean Joffe from Waldorf? No. Little smaller guy, shorter glasses, dark hair. He's actually I think he's a state trooper. He's a buddy of mine. He played and he had those like $1,000 paintball guns with
dude, I got
things
a pretty badass
you pull
gun.
the trigger once, it's like
yeah. What kind of gun did you have?
Bob Long G6R.
What is that like?
It's a poppet. It's a poppet valve. It's an older one. Bob Long just came with their newer gun. I think in like 2020 is the newest version of it.
Yeah.
But if I really wanted to go with something,
you played like woods ball.
I played everything.
Did you play speedball?
Yeah, I played.
That's what we played.
See, I don't know. I know paintball is like I have a gun, I got some paintballs, and I'm just gonna shoot you. I don't know how they work. Yeah. I know CO2 gets thing, but like He had these like auto loader hoppers and everything.
I got all that shit.
Yeah, see, like that's a lot.
I got a 170R.
Okay. Yeah.
Playing Eclipse.
Yeah, I used to have the Lux Ice.
Oh yeah,
when
that's
the first
my
Lux
buddy
came
had.
out.
Yep, my buddy had the Lux Ice.
Yeah.
So you were also saying you do sales on Whatnot?
Yeah.
And you stream, and you make you're like a salesman, internet salesman.
On Whatnot, you're able to sell anything that you want to.
Okay.
Like Whatnot actually made a rule because of how I clickbaited people.
Okay.
Explain. Because Whatnot, it was geared towards guys that just want to interact, have that conversation, and the eBay fast auctions. Like every single auction, 15 seconds, turnaround of 30 seconds, next one going on. And my clickbait to kind of get people to go in there was just scandalous pictures to be like, hey, let's see what is in here. Like I would have taken like, I don't know, I did NASCAR. If you follow NASCAR at all, there's very few women in NASCAR, but the women have a huge following with it. So I would have
talking about Haley Deegan.
I would have Haley Deegan in her bathing suit with a Christmas gift kind of thing, and people would just
click in the room,
click, and then the fact that like they saw how many people were in mine but not in the other sections just because of my editing skills of being able to know what the product is and know what people want out of the product.
What was the product?
Well, it's NASCAR cards at the end of the day. So it's
like trading cards?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct. So like you do brakes, you sell the brakes, you sell for the driver and the specific driver that you want, and then they get it out of that.
Okay, so you'll have the list of all the drivers.
Correct.
You'll sell each card, and then if you open up a pack and it's that guy, they get it.
Correct. So it's like major hits.
How much does it cost for them to get their name on the thing?
It can go from anywhere from $5 all the way up to $120. Like right now, Haley Deegan and any kind of break, you're looking at $125 easily for a spot to get her.
Yeah.
Because of the value of her cards. Her cards are right now close to $500 just for a signature.
Jeez.
Wow.
So
that's pretty cool. So do you do any other types of cards?
I also do. I sell video games on there. You can sell anything on Whatnot. It's just like
You could use it like a yard sale. Essentially, I could like.
People do.
That's what I should do. Maybe my basement. Just sit in there and bring the stuff that I have. The flies flying around.
Dude, it's killing me. I want to just get up and smack it with a hat.
We got to get a salt gun.
Yeah. Never had a fly on the podcast.
Well, so you want to hear something wild? So ever since my buddy died, I've had a fly. And I know it's not the same fly, but I have one in my basement all the time, and I'm starting to wonder if he came with me.
If your fly came with you?
Yeah, he rode with me.
Maybe, dude. Take that motherfucker back.
He'll be gone. He won't be here next week. He'll be in my
He'll be
basement.
chilling on your shoulder.
Yeah. So I do a little streaming on Twitch. I just started. I've started like 2 months ago. I hit it hard every day for like a month. I haven't really been doing it lately. I got up to like 50 followers, and I just really didn't continue with it.
Yeah.
I play a lot of like Madden. I play NCAA right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just have to put like some clickbait pictures up or something.
It's really editing. That's really all.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to get my edit game on. I just have OBS systems.
Okay.
I don't really know how to run it, and
you can easily edit on your phone, and like nowadays.
Okay,
Yeah.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
So what else you got going on? You got a couple. You said you got kids. You were married once, twice, 3 times, 4 times.
Third time's the charm, they say, but also 3 strikes, I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah, I told my wife, I was like, if this doesn't work, I'm going to the other side.
I have a friend that has a podcast that's called "If This Doesn't Work."
Yeah.
He's gonna kill himself.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
So
You
he's
gotta
hitting
make it
pretty
work.
hard. Yeah, but
Gotta make it work, buddy.
So this is your third marriage.
Yeah. This one, Amy has taken me out of darkest periods and also brought light to what exactly I do bring to this world. And nobody in my relationships really have, because all of them have been more materialistic kind of aspect, and like they saw the positives of the possibilities instead of seeing the positives of
what you have going on
now.
Yeah,
like enjoy the journey, and she's just enjoying the journey right now, as much as possibly somebody that has PTSD, all the medical,
Yeah.
mental things that military can bring out of you, and at the same time,
Just life. What life brings out of
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I'm a firm, like you said, mental illness. I
Yeah.
heard you talking earlier outside when we were talking. Mental illness is very serious. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't take it seriously until I had an episode with it. You know, when my second kid was born, I had this thing where, like, I had this weird headache and it messed with my head and made me like feel cloudy headed. And I had anxiety for like 9 years or so. And I finally got out of it when we moved to our house, and I was doing good. And then one day I just like fell off, and I got right back into it, and it was like so much worse. Found out I was like, just had to get medicated. I've been on medication since, and you know, I just overthink the OCD.
That's
like,
how I am.
The brain is.
See, my
It's
biggest
the best thing and the
is
scariest thing at the same time.
trying to fight it without
You can't.
with your well, you can and you can't, right? Like, I was on medicine for a while. Like, I was on it for a little bit, and then I was just like, man, I don't need this shit no more. Like, I'm gonna figure this out, and I stopped taking it. And everything was good, you know, but I have my days, dude.
Yeah,
like, I was
absolutely.
just at my doctor's the other day, and I told him, there she goes again. You could just pull it down, or put it back up, whatever. But, you know, I told the doctor, you know, I was telling him, I was like, hey, man, you know, I'm thinking about possibly getting back on. I don't know. And he's like, maybe you should try, you know, just therapy, you know, talking, you know, before. And I'm like, yeah, I'd be open to that. You know, I don't want to just jump into taking something, right? Because it's everything's a short term.
Yeah. So
fix,
mine is more. I don't get depressed. I don't get like that. I get very irritable.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
I get like anxious to where I feel like something's wrong.
Yep.
And then like just weird, like it actually messes with like my body. My anxiety gets so bad it'll mess with my eyes. It'll mess with my ears. Like it's a weird thing. But I've also, like I said, I've seen a therapist to like work myself through it.
Yeah.
You know.
How'd that work for you?
It was good. I got through it, and honestly, like I said, I could probably get off the medication, but I feel like I'm a better me on the medication. Like, not only just that, like I feel more motivated. I can like, I'm scatterbrained. I can put all my thoughts into what I'm working on. So you know, it's very helpful. Am I scared to get off? Yeah, absolutely. Because when I was in that place, like 2022, the summer of 2022, I was in this place in my head where like I didn't go to work for months, like 2 months. I was calling my best friend Vince's wife. I was calling her like, what do I do? I almost thought about going. I couldn't just get out of it. I was spiraling like.
Yeah.
And then I gave the medicine time. I started talking to the therapist, and like he's like, you're overthinking it. Like, just stop thinking about it. And I'm like, I can't. He's like, no, you can. He's like, go outside, start living your life. Like, if you sit at home and think something's wrong with you, something's going to be wrong with you.
Yeah.
Like, go outside, go exercise, go hang out with your kid, go do something with your wife. And like, I had to make myself go out. But like you said, like a good partner. My wife was the best. She missed girls trip.
Yeah.
Like to stay home with me because she knew I wasn't right. Like I stopped going places. It was a scary it was like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
You know. But so like it's good to have a good rock. Sounds like you got a good one now.
Yeah, it's a good rock, and at the same time figuring out where to go with or like around the rock, because sometimes the rock, you need to get away from the rock. The rock needs to get away from you.
Absolutely.
So it's like, especially because coming out of the service and transitioning into the civilian life, you've missed 6 years of being here. So you've missed 6 years of still continuously having a relationship with friends. You're seeing other friends that have built other relationships outside of you. So it like pushes away from what exactly you're thinking that is going to happen when you come back. And then come to find out, you're just putting yourself into that mental state of like,
your friends were just waiting for you to get back. Like,
correct.
Yeah, they're going to be there still,
and they're not, and it's to the point where now it's like you're an adult, so now, or a father, now you're looking at, hey, how do I make friends at the end of the day? How do I go back to the elementary streets of like, hey, do I go knocking on doors, be like, will you be my friend? You can't do that nowadays, but at the same time, like, there has to be some kind of, like, development of a
mutual
program,
thing. So,
or programs to, like, community programs to bring, like, people together more often.
So there are, well, like you said, your paintballing thing, that's what you got to do. You just got to get into more things that you like. Like, if you like bowling, join a bowling league. Like, there's always, like I tell people all the time, you can, yes, sometimes you're going to have to put yourself out there, but I'm willing to bet if 9 times out of 10, if you put yourself out there and you put out good vibes, you'll find, me and Chris met at baseball. I coached this kid last year. And now we do this once a week, and
this is like our therapy. And that's honestly when I started the podcast. That's what it was. Yeah. You know, like, I was going through my ways of figuring out how I'm gonna control, you know, my anxiety and my, you know, mental health, etc. And I was like, I'm gonna start a podcast. That way, I can hear other people's stories and hear, like, hey, it's not just you going through this. There's other people going through it, right? Yeah. This is an outlet, right? Like, hey, anything you want to say it, right? Yeah. Let it out. Like, that's what this is about, is being able to, you know, speak your mind, you know, and get through it together, right? Yeah. That's what it's all about, and that was the whole point of my podcast. And, you know, it was like, hey, you know, and that's a hustle, right? Like, getting the daily, dealing with anxiety and you know, mental health, like, it's a fucking hustle, dude. Like, it is draining. Like, and you just don't know when your days are gonna be. Like,
I wake up in a bad mood. Yeah. Sometimes just for literally, I felt so bad. My boss got the brunt of it yesterday. I pull up to my first call. I fix it. I go to the next one. I fix it, and I call him because he gives me 2 calls. He says, "Hey, do these 2 calls. Give me a call when you're done." I'm like, "All right." So I call him, and he's like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "Dude, you gave me the 2 calls. Like, you know where I'm at." And it's just like, why did I even have to say that? I should have just been like, "Oh, I just finished this call." You know, like. But I was just grumpy, and he was like, "You're being grumpy." I was like, "Nah, you're just being stupid." You know,
right.
But I was, and he knew, like, he knows me. He knows me well enough that sometimes I'm just in a bad mood, like, and that's okay. It's okay to be in a bad mood. It's just like, you just have to be able to take responsibility for that bad mood, and
yeah. Obviously, if you don't take accountability of your own actions, and then who really wants to be around that kind of person?
Absolutely.
That energy
and having somebody to hold you accountable as well, like, you know, our wives, right? Like, hey, you know, when we're wrong and we're, you know, not being ourselves, and they'll let us know. Like, these past couple of days, I've been in one of those little funks, right? Like, last week, you know, I was all sick, and like this week I'm trying to get back into the, you know, normal hustle and groove, and I'm just like, it's a fog, right? Like, my wife said to me today, she's like, you've just been like a blob on the wall recently. I was like, I'm in one of my funks and trying to get out of it, right? And, you know, hopefully it comes out, which it will, right? But it's just like, man,
tonight, this might be it.
This might be it, right? Just getting out here, bullshitting. Like, I'm sure you can even tell, like, we're not communicating as much, right?
So
like,
honestly, I didn't even know if we were going to record tonight. So, like, I was at practice, and I was like, all right, Chris said, but I didn't want to be, like, pestering you, like, are we doing it tonight? Because if you know, at the same time, anytime you want to cancel, we can always do it another night.
Like, honestly, like, last night, I was just like,
I'm glad you canceled, because I was at practice. I had a headache. I've actually taken Excedrin.
I just took ibuprofen before we came out here, man.
It's the weather. It's that storm coming in, the pressures.
And that's what it is, man. This gloomy weather, every time it's like this, it
wait till tomorrow.
Brings the worst out of
tomorrow. It's supposed to be a little further west. We probably won't get as much rain, but they're saying like 5-6 inches of rain in some spots.
Glad I pulled my boat out.
Yeah, the Brooklyn was warning.
Yeah, Brooklyn was flooded this morning when I left.
No shit.
Yeah, when I had to go out to 895. The section right there after Ordnance Road they had cops shutting it off, so I guarantee you everyone had to go around the Ritchie Highway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the rain it's supposed to be awful tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be the best. And yes, weather does shit on all moods, but at the same time, like, you got to figure out your way to go through that storm.
Absolutely.
So what's some things you struggle with? Like, what's something that kind of, like, will trigger you into, you know, an episode?
It's more or less it's loud voices is the main thing. Loud voices and helicopters. Yeah, I hate helicopters.
Yeah.
If there's a helicopter near me, don't talk to me. Yeah. Or like if it's going around and circling around, I ain't part of that right now.
Because you're just watching it.
It's watching it and figuring out what it's the paranoia of like what is that doing around me, kind of thing. And like you see on the Facebook groups of like people tracking the helicopters that keep on going on. It's like I don't care what you guys are doing, but
why the helicopters?
It's more or less the military side of it.
The noise, the noise that gets you.
Correct. It just reminds me of like the stuff that comes back after you have to fix it or anything like that. So you don't see what is happening to it, but you see what happened to it, kind of thing. Okay. Like you don't see it happening, but you see it coming back, and and you saw it before when it was prime, be perfectly fine, and then now having that noise just brings pictures and just memories and shit like that. Just
do you have problems sleeping?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like you're a very light sleeper. Any noise wakes you up?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like if I'm sleeping, I'm there for good.
Okay. You're out.
But getting me to sleep, good luck, because like being the fact that most of my career I was six hours behind everybody. I was also working at night, so it's like night shifts. You don't know how to live during the daytime, so the people that are on daytime somewhat don't understand. But at the same time, like I can go 72 hours without sleep. Jesus. I've done it before, but that's also the kind of the witching hour of like, hey, you can go psychotic kind of thing. Like your memory and your brain just snaps and goes into a different direction after that point.
Right.
But at the same time, I can also sleep for 24 hours. So like it's that much of being on the spectrum of being able to sleep and being able not to sleep. So
Afghanistan or no?
No, Djibouti's the only thing that's really I've been.
Where's Djibouti?
Africa.
Okay, I had no idea.
If you look, it's the Horn of Africa. Everything that's happening currently right now, that's the hub of everything.
Oh, wow.
But Djibouti, Africa, is a country that has leased their land out to everybody, every country. So every country has a base on there. So Djibouti knows that nobody's going to attack that area.
Yeah.
Like even China has a base on there. We have one of the bigger ones, but basically any drones, any helicopters, any patrol, because that comes through the canal that leads to a lot of the trade that happens through India and Europe.
So it's just, okay, so all the countries are there to all kind of watch, make sure everyone's staying legit.
P's and Q's, but at the same time, like, you don't want to touch our boats.
So you were like, so if I'm getting it right, you did like mechanic work, right?
Yeah.
So type of stuff. So you worked on, the helicopters and things like that. So you wasn't like actually in like battle. Or
no.
Gotcha.
My trigger finger only works during paintball. So.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You had to get it in somewhere else,
Correct.
Hey, that's cool.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I mean, hey, that's if you're gonna do the service, that's the way to do it. I feel like. I mean, I respect the hell out of those guys that do go in the battle, but me, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah, I mean,
you would see me crawled up.
Yeah.
You would see me crawled up. Like there is a different breed that goes for that kind of job and being perfectly fine doing that job.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, a buddy of mine, I'd love to have him on, but he moved out, I think Washington State. His name's Bill Tomlin. But, dude, when you talk about an American hero, he's that guy. He's a fucking badass.
Yeah.
From the day I met him, I knew he was not somebody you wanted to fuck with.
That's
because
cool.
Small guy, but don't fuck with him. And some of the stories, like he's, they've posted about him and stuff like that. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild, some of the stuff. He's came out on top of like, it was like 75 insurgents, and it was him and his group of guys, probably 10 guys or so, and they, battled with these guys, all the way through.
Did they make it
took them all out, you know what I mean? So like he's got some pretty. I'd love to get him on here. He actually has his own podcast too, about like dogs and stuff. Like
that's cool.
He's retired now, you know what I mean?
Doing something different.
Yeah.
But he used to live up here.
Yeah, that's how my cousin was. My cousin was a corpsman, which is a medical doctor for the Marine Corps, basically. But he was in the Navy. It's a weird mix, but he got a Purple Heart. He got blown up while he was in.
Jesus.
He's doing perfectly fine. Well, not perfectly fine, but
he's doing as best as he can with what he's got left.
He's doing great. He got a Purple Heart, and is the stories coming from what he's done down there, and literally joined during right after 9/11. So it's like
Chris Kyle story.
The heart
That's how Bill
Tomlin
Tomlin is, dude. Like, he's gotten like stuff from the presidents, like, you know, they've given him, and I don't know what they are, so I don't want to misspeak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get him on here one day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him on here because I'd love to like get into his story, dude.
I'm gonna challenge him to do a duel.
He's.
You think I'm scared?
Oh, you should be.
I fear no man.
Shit.
Nah,
Listen, I'm the same way. And Bill, I ain't fucking with Bill. I ain't fucking with Bill.
So what are you doing now these
cool
days
guy.
since no military?
just federal government.
Oh, so you're like a DOD contractor?
No. I wish. I wish, but at the same time, again, I would just shit myself and crawl up in a ball. No, but I work for the SSA, Social Security Administration.
Okay.
IT shit. So,
Yeah, that's cool.
So
It's not a bad gig. Ain't nothing to slouch about.
yeah, but at the same time, do I want to be behind a desk just clicking a computer? Not really. Like when I used to turn wrenches, that turned and made my brain click like crazy. So it's like I feel part of me is being taken away because of the sheer fact of my career choice, but again, it's a career choice.
Absolutely.
So and at the same time, if I'm making too much money to really bitch about, so
Yeah, absolutely.
really-
So I had a chance to get in Northern Grumman.
North Grumman, same.
And I was like, you know what? Like, do I do that or do I do what I do? And like, I love what I do and I have opportunity. You know, I'll own it in a few months, but or about a year, probably a little less than a year. But it's like, I like turning wrenches. I love going to the delis and I sharpen slicers and I change dumb parts out. Like, I got a good gig. I'm home early. Like, I got it pretty good.
Yeah.
So I turned down IT. I should though. I should go do it.
Dude, it's where
I know
all the money's at.
I know.
I'm in sales, you know, and most people's houses I go to, they're into, you know, cybersecurity or some
Absolutely.
type of IT. It's not doing nothing but getting bigger every day.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah, if you look at the boom of Colorado, Colorado's boom was first IT, but also the weed game came out there to help with the IT because all the smart people from California saw the business plan, everything coming over to there, and it definitely a bigger tax break also going into Colorado. But
That's the one thing I'd love to do here is to like, I wish I was in the weed scene here some way. My buddy Tim, that was my leg sticking to your couch. My buddy Tim came up from Cali and he was talking on my friend's podcast, on Anderson's podcast, and he was saying that he was a weed influencer over there, and he would just get in touch with brands and like his things. I don't know if your Hustle and Speak platform is family friendly, but we could probably get them. We could probably do some influences on there.
Yeah.
How much we can get paid? You know, got to get that money any way possible.
Hey, whatever. Whatever.
it's
Influencers.
also starting up helping local businesses.
Absolutely.
Because if you get into the local businesses, then of course you get into the bigger ones that support them as well.
Like get Ritual down here and promote us. You know, just local spots.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So what are some things, like I know you said, you know, when you message us on our Facebook and whatnot about wanting to come on and whatnot, you know, mental health was like a big thing for you. You said you'd like to talk about and, you know, try to help people. And what is something you would, you know, like to do to try to help people out, or, you know, something you wanted to speak to people on?
It's more like just communicate. Like the communication part of it. You shouldn't also need a doctor to be able to communicate your stuff. Like I've listened to your previous one, so I don't want to exactly follow what they've said, but to just take away the stigma of not being able to communicate through people or let somebody's voice be heard at the end of the day.
Right.
Like if somebody looks like they need to be talking to, talk to them.
Talk to them.
Like saying hi isn't the best thing. Like it's also poking and prodding, getting that thing out of there.
Right.
And like that's definitely one thing that my rock knows how to do is just poke the bear.
Yeah.
Poke the bear until I talk.
Yeah.
And it's that, and at the same time, like, understanding life is life. So fucking how can I go about and talk about my issues when there's definitely somebody out there with worse shit that they're going through.
Yeah, no, for sure. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you know what though? It's okay that like sometimes we're gonna dwell on some shit, and that's got to be okay too. It's like, oh yeah, someone's got it worse, but it's like, yeah, but guess what? My shit's not cool right now, so like, I'm allowed to sulk a little bit. Like,
right.
Let me do me. People need to like you said. I think the same thing. People need to care a little bit more, and also like start handling your own shit at home before you start to like judge others.
Yeah,
correct.
For sure.
And at the same time, like there comes to a point, especially with men, that like with going through relationships and always being told, even passed down from dads, of like not talking about your shit, just brushing it off. But at the same time, your woman is expecting you to be the rock. Expecting you not to really talk about your shit.
Yep.
And then that brings the PTSD of like, okay, yes, you are not the same woman that I was just with, but that woman just effed me over with all of my stuff. So now my garbage that I have and not
you think
trust
every
of
woman that you're going to date is going to do some shit.
Yeah, correct.
No, absolutely.
Right after it. So it's like,
yeah, like I mean, the biggest thing is people don't talk to people.
Oh, especially men.
And men.
100%. That's because you were told you're gay.
I'm guilty of it.
If you express your feelings, you're a gay guy. Like that's what they. You know what I mean? Like that's how we grew up. And you're like not in gay, like homosexual, but lame. Like
right.
You would be called out if you cried. If something bothered you one day, just being open to somebody would like you'd get ridiculed and like shit. I never hugged, like me and my dad. I had my dad that raised me. He's my dad. Mm-hmm. We didn't hug. Like, even to this day, like we get off the phone, like we don't say I love you. Like, and it's just a weird thing. And it's like, I love him. I know he loves me, but like we don't say it to each other. And I think it's because his generation. Like, if I make a gay joke to my dad, he thinks I'm calling him gay, and he gets like upset. Upset. I'm like, Dad, I know you're not gay. You got 3 kids. Like. Maybe closeted. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it just like the older generation just was taught differently than us, and like they are not as open as our generation is.
I left the military. The first time leaving to go to boot camp was the first time I saw my dad ever cry. Like that's when I broke my dad. Like me and my dad never had a good relationship when I was growing up, but after I joined, he's the one that is trying to get that relationship.
Yeah, your biggest supporter.
Huge supporter. Like I wouldn't be with where I'm at with the federal government right now without his influence, because basically I picked up where he left off, kind of thing. So
so why don't you tell your dad you love him?
Yeah,
I do, but it's just like I tell him all the time, but it's like you could tell he's just like love you too. Like it makes him uncomfortable. Like honestly, I don't say it because it makes it like it's like oh, it's telling another man you love him. It's like, dude, I'm your son,
dude.
Like,
so that's one thing. Like
it's okay. Like, dude, like I know you're not trying to like it's okay.
I know you're not gay. And
but like I said, if you make
but you know it's funny what you're saying, because it's so true. Because so me and my brothers, like anytime we love you, all right, love you.
Yeah.
Always.
Do you say it to your dad every time?
Oh, well, not. I tell my dad I love him. Yeah.
Yes, but you know, every time you go to
for the most part,
when you get off the phone with your mom, you go, "All right, love you, bye."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, my dad, I think I do. I mean, now I'm trying to think about it, but you know, it's funny because like I'll be in the store and I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, Aaron? What are you doing?" And somebody will be standing beside me like, "All right, love you." And then sometimes we get people look at you like from the side, like, "It's my brother, motherfucker."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, it's one of those things. It's a stigma. Even the fact that you had to think in your head,
right, for a second, because like somebody was judging.
And
you.
If the funniest part is, they probably did not. They weren't even listening to your conversation. They did not care.
Nope.
But it's like we were so beat into our brain that like
everybody's judging
feminine in a man. It's not acceptable. Like
it's not even that. It's just constant. Like at least for me, right? Like constant, like thinking people are judging you or criticizing you, and they don't give a. Most people don't give a fuck,
not
right?
At all.
But that's my self-conscience in me.
100%,
Letting it take over. You know, like. You say you're overthinker, dude. I promise you, I'm probably. I'm
Probably
worse.
now that I'm on medication. But so like when you talked about you could stay up for 72 hours, my brain would be my brain was in such turmoils that I was up for like 3 or 4 days because I could not fall asleep. I literally sat there in bed going, I gotta fall asleep. I gotta fall asleep. I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Look at the clock. Oh my God, I got 20 minutes before I gotta be at work. I'm never gonna fall asleep. And then I'd call out, like, I'm gonna be able to go to sleep. I'll sleep today. No. Up all day. I would take melatonin at night and still could not fall. Like 2 or 3 days, because it was just, I was in a spiral. I get manic. And that's where, like, my brain will not turn off. Like, it just, every scenario, I replay everything in my head of the day. I used to be the same way. When I was younger, and I think that was neurotic, I cared what people thought so much. Like, and now I can be annoying. I don't give a shit. Like,
right, you're yourself.
Yeah, I'm me.
Yourself.
Like, well, that's why I'm glad I come here, because I can talk a lot.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I get it out here.
That's also what the media has put out there as well. So, like,
well, the news, everything has changed. Remember when we were kids, you'd have nothing but good stuff on the news. Like, the neighborhood's having a bake sale. Come on, check it out. They'd have a reporter down at the carnival. Like, good stuff. And then, like, DC Sniper happened. And then, like, they saw how many people watching the news. Like, we're just going to put bad shit all the time. Every murder ever happened, we're going to get a camera out there. Like,
You think the turning point is the DC Sniper?
I mean, no.
I was thinking 9/11 personally.
No. DC Sniper was before 9/11, wasn't it? No, it was after. No, like I said, 9/11, but like, I feel like 9/11.
9/11's like the first big thing that I remember.
That was like one of those things that like brought us closer together. It was like one of those, they recorded, like, it wasn't like they were showing something bad. They were like, look what the fuck happened to us, America. Let's chin the fuck up and step up. There hasn't been a moment like that for like since 9/11.
That was a big a big payday.
Yeah.
It's a big payday.
Do you all right?
It's a big payday.
Some conspiracies there.
What do you think? Are you a conspiracy guy?
Well,
That was the day America betrayed America.
Yeah.
So, easily because look who was in the chair as well. So a person that runs through oil. His friendships are all oil. And then what is in the Middle East that everybody wants?
Oil.
One of the purest oils out there besides our own.
And start war, money. Took out a policy on the Twin Towers for a terrorist attack for airplane hitting it. Well, a few months before.
If you look at most of what we have done as a country when it comes to wars, like, we've always built up their economy afterwards. Like, we have a piece in every single country that we've gone into.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's always going to be a money.
We're playing a real life game of Monopoly. We just build hotels and houses in every spot we buy.
And our hotels are our bases.
Yeah. I encourage you to watch a movie it's a documentary, if you can still find it, called Lose Change.
So I know it. It's a Michael Moore movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not a movie. It's a documentary.
I feel like I've seen a little bit of it, but it's like...
That's a good one. It'll break down a lot of things for you. A lot of things for it. Not everything's a conspiracy.
No,
not everything is, right? But everything kind of is a conspiracy until we're proven otherwise, right?
Who flew the planes into the building? Who was it? You think...
It wasn't flown planes.
You think it was a remote control plane? You think it was a drone flown 747?
It's there's plenty of videos of the planes hitting with no windows on them. Those planes they say that hit the Twin Towers, they still flew after that.
And at the same time, the plane that went into the Pentagon, that plane
disintegrated,
correctly.
Yeah, I did.
But they found the guy's passport.
Magically.
Found the guy's passport.
And magically.
And the FBI and all was at the gas station within seconds to confiscate all the footage.
Correct.
Within seconds.
Correct.
Yeah.
I know.
Thermite found, big traces of thermite, found in the Twin Towers. Mm-hmm. It's already been proven that jet fuel can't, make steel melt like they say it did.
Mm-hmm.
They had elevator maintenance the week before 9/11. where the elevators were shut down and they were doing
the charges
maintenance. If you watch when the Twin Towers are falling, you can see charges coming out. Boom, boom, boom. The way it dropped, it just came down. That doesn't happen from... There's a lot. They took all the gold from underneath of the Twin Towers. They took all the gold out. I mean, there's so much. A lot. Did people die? Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, people died. But even the people they say were on those planes and things like...
Yeah, what happened to them?
That's also casualty, just like how the whole COVID
That's what I'm saying. I think even if they did it, I don't think it... Maybe it wasn't attacked. Maybe it wasn't hijacked by terrorists. Maybe it was guys that were willing to do it on the inside.
But they knew where they were. They knew where they were. Yeah. They knew that they went on.
Because
the
one thing the one thing that is like tough, like tell that to the
you think that
tell that to the families that were on Flight 92.
Hold on. You think
I don't need it.
The families that were on Flight 92.
Yeah.
That's the one in PA.
Yeah, that like actually got phone calls out and would like talk to family members and shit, or the recordings of people that. So
supposedly there's a lot on this.
I know, so deep. For sure.
Supposedly all these planes that they say hit the Pentagon, the Twin Towers, Flight 90, all that. Supposedly they were grounded, and people have footage of those planes grounded, people getting off of those planes, getting unloaded into So you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know what's all true, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But I can tell you this. It wasn't an accident.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
It wasn't I don't think it was a terrorist attack. I think
you think it was an inside terrorist attack, like an inside.
Yeah, it was a terrorist attack, but not by who they said.
Planned by us.
It was to go to
scare
war.
us to war.
Yeah, to go to war.
Am I still the only one that is still shocked that you still think the DC sniper was the one that brought us all together?
No. I didn't say bring us all together. I said
I'm still on this.
That was the one where around here I feel like on the news it was just always bad stories after that.
But there's always a bad news about even Annapolis. You see more and more with Annapolis.
Yeah, but like I said, but when I was a kid, you don't think the same crime and stuff was there. I just think they just didn't report it. Like they see that the bad sells, it gets people tuned in. Like they're putting good stuff on there, people don't watch anymore. So it's like if you're not selling controversy, you're not selling.
Yeah. I think that's the new, that it might be the new energy of the...
Yeah, like saying that Michael Jackson died, and remember, you didn't...
Did he?
He's definitely.
I saw him walking out of that van.
He's hanging out with Tupac. No,
hold on. Tupac
is not alive. Shut up. He is not alive.
Listen, do you know who I'm talking about?
Machiavelli. I seen the dude.
No, not Machiavelli. What's his name? I'm trying to...
I would need my phone for that.
Oh my god, there's this guy, dude.
I know who you're talking about. I've seen the videos.
Dude, he looks fucking identical. He sounds like him. He raps like him.
His teeth and everything.
Everything are identical. What is his name? It's gonna bother the shit out of me.
But his daughter also said that he's alive.
What, Tupac's alive?
Yeah. His daughter said it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Tupac was a very he was a fucking smart guy, dude.
You think he's like witness protection? Got out, snipped,
Could be. I tell you what, the guy I'm talking about, that motherfucker looks just like him, dude.
I know. I've seen the videos.
Just like him.
Mm-hmm. There's also video of what's it called? Michael Jackson's daughter driving in a car, and a picture of her, and it looks like Michael is in the back of the car.
Yeah.
That's also surfaced out there.
I just don't. I don't know.
He fucked up Blanky. That poor kid. Who fucking names their kid Blanky?
Blanket.
No, it's Blanky, ain't it?
No, it's Blanket.
Who the fuck names their kid Blanket?
Stop being ignorant.
Seriously.
You ever see that South Park episode? Stop being ignorant.
But seriously, could you imagine
I mean, he was fucked
going
up.
to school, hey, my name's Blanket Jackson. What?
I don't think they call him Blanket, though.
No, I know. His name.
I think, I don't know.
Could you imagine being Blanket Jr.?
I mean, one of his kids' name is Prince.
That's better than
Prince
fucking
Michael
Blanket,
Jackson.
Dude.
Well, didn't Kanye...
North?
No, yeah, that was
North?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Oh,
Blue Iris.
Blue Ivory.
Yeah, Blue Ivory.
Yeah.
So it's like...
That's still better than Blanket, dude.
It is.
Yeah, Blanket.
Yeah, Blanket's
better than being called Tally.
Tally, Mr. Tally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you got anything exciting coming up? Got any good things you got going on? What's some positive things you got coming up?
Well, right now, it's just rebuilding the VFW. You don't hear many young veterans at the VFW because it's not the cool scene or anything like that. But at the same time,
trying to make it cooler.
Correct.
Yeah.
Once they get to a certain age, they would want that camaraderie, that old connection. So I'm trying to connect other veterans around the community, around the area, to look at their local VFW or even look around our area for VFW.
What is your local?
And just our local VFW is right next to Fort Smallwood Road, off Fort Smallwood Park, right near Rumor Reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same street.
Down there?
Yeah.
Is it past it? Or is it before it?
Right before it.
Okay.
Before it. Big VFW sign. But yeah.
I know. Yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
It's a small little tavern. Cheapest drinks in the world. So, like, that's the main perk right there.
I might check it out.
Yeah.
I'm a Friday, Saturday warrior.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're wide open.
Can you go in there?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
I have to pay.
No, there's no cover charge for you. And the main thing is, like, people think that it's just veterans that need to go into it. Yes, veterans are there. But if, just like the American
too.
Legions, correct, friends.
Yeah.
If you know somebody that's in the service that you're willing to, like, say that you're going to support, but that's basically what you got to do.
Yeah, come out, buy you guys a drink. I can do that. You know what I mean?
For $2 a beer. Exactly.
How much is Captain Coke?
Oh,
$5?
I'm rum and Coke, no ice. $3.
$3?
$3.
Oh, you're gonna see Chris there all the time now.
$3.
Chris gonna bring everybody.
Man.
He gonna be getting everybody in the VFW high. You smoke? You smoke?
There's a small smoke pit right outside.
They do.
Yeah.
Dude, I have a good time. I love it. I go to Rumor Reel every once in a while. My wife's brother lives like 3 driveways down past Rumor Reel.
Okay.
That's where she grew up. So I love that area. And it's close. It's not far. I love close bars.
Yeah, my daughter. Oh yeah, the community bars are always awesome.
Yeah.
My daughter goes to school right down the road from there, so I'm always around that area.
I got pulled over in that parking lot. That school was it Fort Smallwood Elementary?
Yeah.
Heather's parents. I was going to go over there, and her dad was running late to go to work. So my buddies pulled into the school parking lot, and we were just sitting there waiting for her dad to leave. She was going to text me. We're just sitting there. We had pulled an all-nighter, so we're up. We're just hanging out in the car. And all of a sudden, a police officer comes up the car and taps on the window. He's like, "Can I help you boys with something?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess this doesn't look too good," because the kids were going to school. It was like, I'm like, I'm just waiting for my girlfriend's dad to leave so I can go over to her house. He was like, "So you thought the school parking lot was the spot to go?" I was like, he wouldn't look in the school parking lot for me. He just started laughing. He was like, "You guys are good." He's like, "Just, don't get out of the car." And he's like, they were just concerned. I was like, "No, we're not doing that."
You could have just went to the park right next to it.
I know. The park, there's a community hall across the street too.
Correct.
Yeah. Didn't pick the right choice, but we were young and dumb.
So if you could change one thing in this world, anything, what would it be?
The vision of equal rights to actually be equal. When it comes to people willing to give and take of what exactly they see as equal. Because not everybody has the same view. Not everybody's going to have the same view. Not everybody's going to have the loudest voice or the biggest presence to speak their voice. So if you say that you want to be equal with men and women being equal, if you have the thought process of, hey, we want the same as you, we have to do the same work. We have to be at the same grind, the same mental capacity at the same time. So we have to communicate this kind of stuff out. This is why we get paid this, and this. This is why you don't get paid this, and this. And then we can actually be equal and be on the same level of equalness instead of being like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and do it.
So the thinking of equal, yeah.
So is it equal for a guy to become a woman boxer?
Let's put Mike Tyson in there. I like the whole Mike Tyson thing going into.
I don't know Mike Tyson.
What's your opinion on that?
I mean,
don't go soft. Don't go soft.
I don't think that they should be. I don't think that you're transitioning.
When there's a girl there and she's jumping up and down, and just her boobies are jumping up and down, and then you got the other girl, guy, whatever, and he's got his junk jumping up and down with him.
Yeah, 100%.
And then he's boxing her.
They shouldn't
in the Olympics.
They shouldn't.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, if you were born with men genetics, you should not be able to compete in women's sport. It's it's an unfair
go to Thailand
advantage.
and say that.
Yeah, no, I know.
Go to Thailand.
I get it. Like I said, it's just not. It's not. That's not equal at all. And like I said,
not.
Is it? So there was a man that was in the Olympics.
You didn't hear about that?
I did, but like then I saw that. I think they were making a joke that girl looked like a guy.
No, it was.
It was a guy.
Yeah, it was a guy. It was a guy.
And the Olympics allowed him.
He hit the girl one time and she quit because she's never been hit that hard. That girl trained her whole life for that moment.
To get the Olympics.
And that guy took it away from her.
100%. Yeah, that's
bullshit.
It's the same thing
and I
that
don't
happened
care if nobody doesn't like it or not.
Swimming.
I saw that too.
The Olympics before.
Yep, I remember. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's getting out of hand.
It is getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand. If y'all don't like it, I don't care. You don't got to listen. But it's getting out of hand.
It is getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
You do see more and more. And it's like, how did they get into the Olympics? I thought the swimmer thing that got shut down. Remember? Because there was a swimmer that broke all the records on like one swim. And it was like, yeah. But he was like, she was the 500th men when he was trained as a man.
Correct.
He was the number one woman, but left.
Well, some people are doing it just to get that title. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they can't do it in.
I know.
The guy can't do it in the guy division, so he's gonna go into.
Well, unless he, like I said, there's some of them. There's people that transition. I 100% believe that in their brain, the brain is the craziest thing in the world, and like, I think the people genuinely think that they were born in the wrong body. And I'm all for doing.
God doesn't make mistakes.
It's not a mistake.
God doesn't.
It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake.
If you're born a girl, you're born a girl.
100%.
If you're born a guy, you're born a guy.
Like
God doesn't make mistakes.
It's not a mistake if you. I think if you 100% believe, like you can do whatever you want to do. I believe you do whatever you want to do to make you happy. But at the same time,
you can do that and think that, but God doesn't make mistakes.
No,
at the end of the day, you're born with a penis. You're a boy. You know what I mean?
No.
At the end of the day, look, everybody has their 100%, own.
100%.
Be what you want to be.
100%.
I have nothing against that. Somebody wants to transition, but at the end of the day,
yeah. But you have to realize you can't compete. Then
right,
when you transition, you give up. And you're giving it up because it's like it's a society thing. If you decide you want to transition, you have to give up knowing that you know what, you're not going to be able to maybe go to the Olympics and smash bitches' faces open, like
it's crazy.
Or there's a third category.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, yeah, exactly. Like,
or there has to be a third category.
Yeah, 100%.
I hate to say it.
And you know what though? I'd watch that. I'd watch
a lot of people would watch it. But the thing is, you're also getting different sports. Like there's men's field hockey.
100%.
I just watched men's field hockey today.
Yeah, there's going to be there's going to be more and more sports, which I'm all for. The same thing is, like I said, it's one of those things you got to.
God is coming soon. God is coming soon. Jesus. Oh Lord. It's.
I'm not a very religious man, so I think that's probably why I'm able. Like I said, it's good because we're.
Hey, look.
I'm a free love kind of guy. I'm a 100% believe. Hey, do what makes you happy, and that's whatever it is, unless you're a fucking pedo.
Yeah.
Like. Like kid thing is weird. I don't understand it, but it's fucked up too because it's like, I think it's a mental disorder. I think that and some people's brains just don't fire like others, and it's like, it could be a mental disorder. I don't know. I'm no doctor, you know what I mean? But I don't understand it. I just don't, I don't understand it. I don't know.
They're trying to classify that. Somewhere was trying to classify that as
I don't think you should be able to get like disability. That's not what I'm saying. When I say that, don't make me like, I'm saying that.
Chris does not agree. Chris D does not agree with Chris G.
Yeah. And that's okay.
They're fucking sickos. That's it. Period.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it or not.
But like I said,
fucking disgusting if you like kids.
No. Like I said, nowhere. Don't make me sound like I'm fucking condoning the kid shit, motherfucker. No, what I'm saying though is I think that there's something wrong with people's brains.
Yeah,
and I think that it should be studied. Like, I think when you get arrested for that shit, I think that you should be fucking studied and like figure out maybe there's something, like
yup, you're right. You got the illness, we got the cure.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, Or maybe they do find a cure.
Oh,
you
people
know?
are gonna hate me.
You're being honest. That's your truth. I mean, and that's okay.
I'll always
100%.
I'll always be true to myself. 100%. I don't care what people think.
Yeah,
I don't care.
And that's how you should be. Like I said, it's the same. Like just like the same. The way I think you should. That's how everybody should be. Like
for sure.
Everybody should be comfortable enough to do what they want to do.
Yep.
And not judge. Like if you decided tomorrow you wanted to dress up as a girl, I'm all for that. I wouldn't judge you at all. Like, I know you laugh, but like, I wouldn't look at you any differently. I know who. I've hung out with you enough to know that like you're a decent dude. Like, if you dress up as a girl from time to time, that's you. Like, like it happens. Like people, like I said, I hope that like my message. I tell people all the time, like, I just wish people would be comfortable enough to be who they are, and like whatever that means. Like.
Yeah.
I'll never dislike somebody that like it just wants to be them. I may not like be your best friend, but I'm not gonna hate you for it.
Right.
We can also get into the topic of the fact of getting the stereotypes of bad fathers, great moms kind of thing going out the door, because like even after a divorce or after a separation, like I have my kids full time I have 2 of them from my second marriage, and then I have a third from my third marriage. But the mother of my first 2 was perfectly fine just signing them over.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
It's like
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
that thought process, like putting that into a brain of like, could I do it? But I didn't push them out of me. I have them for 9 months times 2.
Yeah,
and then being able to just say.
Yeah, you don't have an option. It's not can I do it? I'll fucking do it, right?
Correct.
Like that's it. That's that's the mindset. I'll never understand.
My wife's mother did it, but hers was drugs. Hers was drugs.
Yeah,
but that's the same thing.
Well, that's the same thing.
Yeah, the
people
mental,
choosing drugs over their kids. I don't. I have no respect for them. I
for sure.
I just don't.
It's sad, but I think like I said, I think everything stems from mental illness and like just not being.
Stable.
Like I said, there's just no out. Like I said, we were taught to be like, oh, hold it in, hold it in, hold it in, hold it in, and then.
But you're getting it from a female though. Yeah. Females aren't supposed to be holding it.
100%.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Like I said, drugs and people that get hooked on drugs and shit, I feel so bad for them. But it's like at the same time, you knew as soon as you did the drug, you're taking that risk, and so I don't feel sorry for them. But I know that once they're on. Like, I've just seen great people just...
It's sad, dude.
Yeah.
It's sad. You fall into it.
Yeah.
You just do, right?
Once you're hooked, you're hooked.
You're hooked.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no getting... some people can overcome it. You got to be a fucking fighter. You got to be strong. You got to be able to overcome it. But some people can't, man. Some people can't. And it's sad because you see the greatest people, some of the greatest people, just go down that path and then... lose everything, you know what I mean? And a lot of those people have they have big hearts, you know what I mean? A lot of people that are hooked on those drugs and things like they have big hearts, you know what I mean? Like I lost my brother CJ to drugs. He OD'd, you know what I mean? And CJ had the biggest heart,
absolutely,
fucking great, great person, fun to be around, but he couldn't stop, you know what I mean? And it caught up to him.
I'm dealing with that now. So I was very close. I have a cousin that he's a little bit older. I was very close. My best friend. He got a great job. They got this house. Everything was just on the way up, and like then him and his wife just got bad, and like it just sucked because like he moved in like across the street from where I was at, and I'd see him all the time, and I just wanted to help him so bad, but there was nothing I could do. Like
sometimes you got to just step back.
And
man.
I did.
And
I did. And I every time he's like, I'm doing good. And like yeah, he actually came to one of the baseball games last year.
Oh really?
He came and cheered the kids on. It was actually one of the ones we won. It was great seeing him. He looked great, and then you find out, he relapsed, and you're just like, God, like. You just wish you could just like pull him up out of it and be like, I got you. Like you don't have to do drugs, but
at the end of the day, man, I've learned, I've dealt with it, with family and all. It's like you can only do so much.
Absolutely.
And if they don't want the help, there's nothing you can do, right? Like, you can only do so much. You can only say so much. You can only help them so much. If they want it, they're going to do it. If not, I've seen it. Lots of money wasted sending them to rehab. They didn't want to go to rehab.
Yeah.
You sent them there. You just spent $15,000 of your money, and not even a week later, they're using again, right? It's sad. It's scary. They gotta want it. They gotta want it for themselves.
I'm a firm believer. Once you get clean, you can't live in anywhere near where you were.
Yep.
You cannot. You just can't.
No, you have to surround yourself around people you want to be
100%.
Be like. And if you put yourself right back into that environment, you're gonna get back to the same shit.
Absolutely.
If somebody's and look, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've never been hooked on drugs or nothing,
100%.
right? I've never been on that, but I've seen enough of it to know like what's got to be done, right? And I know enough to know that, hey, if you're fucking going to get clean and you come back to that cell phone that has your drug dealer's numbers on it, you're gonna have that moment where nobody's there, that they could talk to you or you could talk to them, and you're gonna fucking hit dial and you're gonna call them and you're gonna get high and you're gonna relapse.
Absolutely.
Right? And be right back into the.
And that's when I talk about the mental thing, because I am 100% addicted to a ton of stuff. Food, I am 100% a food addict. Yep. If I'm eating bad, I can sit and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. It's a compulsive thing. We are addicted to everything. Anything that makes you feel good releases serotonin into your brain. We love the way that feels, and we're going to do it again. You know, first time you did anything that got you excited, you wanted to experience that again. And I think that's what happens with drugs. Like, that drug hits your system, the melatonin, you're like, oh, I'm not going to be addicted. And then you do it again, and then eventually, before you know it, you're dependent on it. And then now you're doing it not to just get sick. You ain't even, they say a lot of times, you don't even, sometimes you're chasing that high.
That's what they say, right? They say that, like, hey, if they, people are trying to go through it,
it's never as good as that first time.
They get them cold chills, and they want to take it just because they want to feel better again, right? And which is probably true, but at the end of the day, to me, that just sounds like weak. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
it's definitely weak.
You got to get over that. Got to get over that hump. You put yourself there.
A lot of people
got to get out of it.
A lot of people won't make it. If they're like, depending on how bad you are into it, you'll die.
Yeah, they
without like.
You got to have the proper steps to it, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, for sure. And also having the support system around.
Absolutely.
Like, if you have nobody holding yourself accountable as well, pushing you, yes, that might also push you towards it.
Yeah.
But it's getting, like you said, getting those people around you, the right people that you actually want to have in your circle that can be a role model to your freedom of that addiction.
Yeah. It's definitely that's the biggest. When people talk about war, that's war in America.
Absolutely.
That's war in America, man, and it's.
But that's also self-inflicted.
Well, the craziest bit, you'll probably be blown on this one. I don't believe that any drug should be illegal, because it's one of those things. Right now,
it isn't in Oregon.
Drugs are illegal, and guess what? Every single state that drugs are illegal, drugs are still being done.
Yeah.
So it's like,
they're gonna do it if they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
right.
100%. They act like because they're illegal, the crackhead didn't break into the house down the street. Guess what? He's breaking into the house. You arrest him for breaking into the house. You can't, you find these guys that just have a little bit of drugs on them, and you're locking them up, and it's just costing us all money.
Right.
Hey, guess what? Instead of using our taxpayer money to put them into the thing, maybe let's make a little bit of a safer spot to where he's not leaving needles on our fucking streets and shit.
It's funny
because beach,
just because it becomes legal, right? Like for me with the anxiety, everybody's like, "Oh, you just smoke weed," and I never would, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I've done it in my past. I've done it, right? But I was like, nah, And then once it was legal, I was like, "You gonna smoke now? Now it's legal." I was like. It wasn't because it was illegal. It's just I don't want to do it, right?
It's not your thing.
It's not my thing. Like the other day when we was at the concert, you're like, "Hey, you want to hit?" I was like, "Nah." You're like, "Why not?" I ain't done it this long. Why start now, right?
Sure.
Like it's not my thing, right? And if it was no big deal.
Well, I was asking, like, is it because you get paranoid? Is it because you didn't enjoy it? Or, I didn't mean like...
Right, no. I'm not saying it like that.
He's trying to put me out there all the time, guys. I'm not that bad of a guy.
It's like, he's terrible. He's like, smoke this right here. It's gonna make you feel so much better.
Like, you're gonna be the best person ever.
It's like How High with Red Man with the Du Haas.
Yeah.
Just blowing it right into you.
No, but you know what that is? That's self-control for me,
absolutely,
right? Like, and dude, I grew up, when I moved up here, like, I could have smoked all the weed I wanted to, right? Like, my dad smoked, they sold, all that, right? I had all the freedom in the world to do it all, right? But I've always had a fucking strong backbone. I don't care what everybody else is doing. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
See, like it doesn't do what it probably does for me to you.
It probably does. It probably doesn't, right? But my thing was, and it would always be, oh, come on, just try, just do it, and everybody wanted me to do it so bad because I didn't do it. And for me, that was me like, dude, I'm stronger than you, right? Like, hey, dude, I got a backbone. You're not going to force me to do anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I don't want to do it, you're not going to make me do it. If I want to do it, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And when I did try it, it was like, okay, I'm going to try it, right? Like, I tried it on my own, right? It wasn't because anybody was telling me to do it or anything.
Yeah, you were curious.
To this day, like, it was, you're right. I was like, hey, I'm young. I want to try, right? The same with drinking and stuff. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't do none of that. I'm an adult now. I can do it all if I want to, right? Like, it doesn't matter, but it's like, why now? Why would I start now? Right? For me, and I'm not saying this and like, oh, you drink, you smoke, blah. Like, for me, like, I'm setting an example for my kids too, right? And at the end of the day, I don't want my kids to drink and smoke. And will they? Most likely, yes, right? And if they do, I want them to know that they can come to me and talk to me, and they can, and hey, if they want to, try a drink or whatever, hey, I'll be here for you during your first drink or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, they'll probably look at like, hey, Dad never did that. Dad didn't drink. Dad didn't smoke. They might not, right? Mm-hmm. Mostly, I got 5 fucking kids. So something's gonna happen, right? But just trying to, stay leading by that example for me. It's just something, I live by.
It's not a bad thing.
Like I tell my kids all the time, I drill this into my kids: be a leader, not a follower. Yeah. You're a leader. You're a leader. I tell them that. A few times a week, I tell my kids that you're a leader, not a follower, right? Like, oh, so and so's doing this. Okay, are you a follower? Or are you a leader, right? Like just little things like that, and that'll carry with them for their whole lives. 100%. It really will. Yeah. Is it raining?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to start storming.
Yeah.
It's gonna flood soon.
Drizzling. It's getting hot as fuck
in
here. Boy. It's like a sauna in here.
All right, here we go.
Yep.
What? I guess, you know what? He already said his message.
Go ahead. Hit him with something. Hit him with something.
All right.
Hit him with something, Chris.
So, man. If you could send one message for your kids, say something happened to you today, tomorrow, on the way home, never know, God forbid, not saying anything's going to happen. What was one thing that you could steer your kids with a message for the rest of their life? What would you say to them?
It's one thing that I always tell my kids, being a parent, it's keep your chin up and use your voice. If you keep your chin up, tears can't fall. Okay? Yeah. Stay strong. Be a positive role model for everybody out there. Not just for any of your friends, but people that don't even know who you are. Be a positive role model to them as well. And then to also, like I said, be friendly.
Yeah.
Be friendly.
Definitely got to be friendly.
Because if you're not friendly, then who else is going to be? Like, you can't go throughout life without a friend. Even though you can have, like, one friend. Like, I've seen my dad go through shit, and his friends keep on dying and shit like that. Because the older that you get. But it's like, if you have a strong 5 with you in that circle, you can go move a lot of boulders.
I like that.
Around through that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I lost my best friend 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
I lost a few people when I was in the service, and like I tried to reach out to one of them a couple months ago. Figured out that he passed away a year and a half ago.
Jesus.
I was like, Jesus Louises. So communicate with everybody that you know and love.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Chris G, we're going to try something different. Take us out.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Hustle and Speak podcast. Chris, see you, man. Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty
Thanks for
doesn't
listening.
know.
Shit happens.
Hey guys,
Tell Scotty. Watch the movie.
yeah, I gotta watch the
Yes.
movie. Everybody, keep tuning in. We're gonna keep dropping heat for you guys every single week. At least we're gonna keep trying to.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, stay tuned until next week.
All right. See you.